Welcome back, family. You are now rocking with the channel Unapologetic Truth. The channel where we speak the truth and don't apologize for why? Truth never apologize. Alright, now today we're gonna get into the Illuminati. The last video we did, we was talking about the offshoots of the Illuminati, like the Freemasons, Skull and Bones, Knights of Malta. So we got into those, right? So now we're gonna actually get into the top tier of the secret society, which is the Illuminati, which is the 13 families. All right, as you can see here, we have the bloodlines, the names of the bloodlines of the Illuminati. So if you don't know, you finna know. All right. So the first one is the Astor bloodline. The second is the Bundy bloodline, the Collins bloodline, the DuPont bloodline, the Freeman bloodline, the Kennedy bloodline, the Lee bloodline, the Onassis bloodline, the Rockefeller bloodline, the Rothschilds bloodline, the Russell bloodline, and the Van Buren bloodline, right? Okay, a lot of you haven't heard of some of these bloodlines, because a lot of these are not in America. A lot of these are bloodlines that are spread across the earth, right? So, but it's two of them that you have heard of. Well, three you have heard of, which is the Rothschild bloodline, the Rockefeller bloodline, and the Kennedy bloodline, right? All right, now we're gonna get into some clips to show you to tell you about the Illuminati. A lot of you probably heard about David Icke. A lot of you probably haven't heard of David Icke, but David Icke is one of the leading researchers of these bloodlines. So we're gonna get into some of the things that he uncovered, and then we're gonna get into some of the things that this top tier secret society push out into regular society, right? All right, let's get to it.
The elite are obsessed with genetics. Why do you think the UK government want everyone's DNA?
It's all about frequency compatibility, vibrational compatibility. If you are in a human body and you're vibrating to a certain frequency, and here someone wants to possess that body and it's vibrating to a very, very different frequency, it's very difficult to make that connection and therefore take over the mental and emotional faculties of that human body, if you like. If you can create a genetic hybrid, then that vibrational compatibility becomes very much closer and therefore very much more effective in terms of possession.
See, this is why they try to change human DNAs and put other DNAs inside the human and change human DNA. Because if they can do that, it would be easier to control. There will be no pushback.
So what has happened is that there's been this interbreeding which created these hybrid bloodlines, and this is the origin of the divine right to rule. The divine right to rule, what is that? It's the right to rule because of your bloodline, because of your DNA. So these hybrids became...
Basically, he's speaking about, like, a lot of people talk about the reptilians and, you know, all these other different types of entities, but me personally, what I believe in is I believe in the fallen angels. Maybe these fallen angels take on different forms, but this is in terms and in fact who these 13 bloodlines really are.
They're known, and they're known in history as the demigods, part human, part god. So the gods were just other dimensional entities. And they became the kings, the queens, and the emperors of the ancient world, who claimed this right because of their special bloodline. And so in ancient China, the emperors claimed the right to be emperor because of their connection and their descendants from the serpent gods, etc. You find this all over the world. Now, as these bloodlines expanded across the world and interbred more and more, so this bloodline expanded its power. And just down the road from here, actually, from where we're sitting, probably 5 minutes in a car, is Buckingham Palace. And there sits the head of state in Britain in the 21st century, who is only there because of her DNA. This is still going on today. But what happened is, when royal control by royal dictatorship started to be resisted by the people, and the royal dictatorship started to fall, what happened is these bloodlines moved out of overt royal dictatorship. They're still in there, the Windsors in Britain and the Spanish royal family and all these others. But they moved then into what I call the dark suit professions, as they've become. They moved into politics, they moved into banking and business and all that stuff. They were in there anyway, but they moved in much more powerfully. So when you look at the transnational corporations and the major, most powerful and influential politicians and those that control the oil cartel and the drug cartel and all the rest of it, you're looking at this hybrid bloodline. Now,
when he's talking about the royals, okay, look at the Queen of England. She just not own England. She owned different other countries as well. And the Queen of England, not just on other countries, but she rules countries from the background, right? When you pay taxes, part of the taxes that you pay to the queen because the queen want hers, right? She's also an offspring of the fallen angels. All right,
they have used things over the years, like the Mormon genetic library and the genealogical library, to follow the bloodline. And if you do that, you know what you're doing, you know what you're looking for. You can tell who's got this hybrid and who hasn't, because there are those who are really the elite, who pass over the bloodline from generation to generation. You don't have to go looking for them; they know who they are. But there's others out in the population who also have this bloodline. In effect, it's a software program, if you want to see the body as a computer, as I do.
How do you think a lot of these people are related to each other? Take Obama, for example. You would think Obama, yes, you would think Obama's a black man, right? On the contrary, Obama is Bush's cousin, who's also related to Joe Biden. I don't know if you guys seen the video back, it was a few years back. Somebody made a video, right, showing Joe Biden's eyes change from regular eyes to a serpent eyes. They do transformations like that, right? Because eventually their true nature will show. No, it was no trick cameras. This person filmed it right off the news channel where he was speaking. I don't know how much I can tell you guys about this, that you will believe it, But whether you believe it or not, it's not a theory, it's a fact. Whether you believe it or not. Let's get back to the video.
And you want to know who they are, because if you've got this bloodline, it's like a computer program or a computer in the sense that you've got files on your computer, but they don't affect the screen, the reality, unless you open the file. So you go through life and these files don't affect you. But there are certain ways that you can open these files and then bring that perception, that attitude, that behavior, that personality.
What I tell you? What did I tell you? I just said that I didn't watch this video. Most of the videos that I put on here, I do not watch. It's a genuine reaction to these videos. It's just I have knowledge of these things because I do my research and I study up on things, and I study up on bloodlines, and I study up on nations and different peoples, and eventually you'll come across things like this. So, like I told you before, Obama is a cousin of George Bush. How you think he became president? You cannot become president unless you in the bloodline. You can't. You cannot be a king. You cannot be a queen. You cannot be a dictator. You cannot be a president unless you are part of the bloodline. They know their people because they do their DNA. They search for their bloodline. Believe that.
Reality of that file onto the screen. In other words, in the way people behave in everyday life. And they do this through the secret society ritual. This is why they'll target someone. The person won't realize what they've been targeted. They might think that, they just think I'm good and they're supporting me and sponsoring me. Powerful people suddenly sponsor people to progress very quickly in law or politics or stuff. People like Blair's classic. And then,
by the way, check out the merch. We got the merch coming soon, Unapologetic Truth shirts. Also, we're gonna have hats, jackets, hoodies, pants, shoes. We're gonna have it all. So, if you really rock with the channel, if you really like the content I bring out, support the channel, man. Support the business. We all need to support each other. Because they're not going to support us. So we all need to support each other. Anyway, let's get back to it. I just wanted to let y'all know, the merch is coming soon. Merch is coming soon. Merch is coming soon. Okay? So let's get back to the video.
As they progress through this sponsorship and support, they get pulled into the secret society network as all part of it, and then they go through the secret society initiation rituals, which often they have not a clue what they're about. They're just rituals, it's just tradition. But what's happening is these rituals are designed to tease open these files, which they know they've got because they've got the bloodline. Right? And then as these files open, so they have more and more effect on the personality, the screen of the person involved, and their personality changes. And you watch, and there's classic examples you can see around the world. You watch people who, for instance, come into politics with a certain, sometimes genuine desire to change things. And then eventually, as they progress into power, they become absolutely everything that they entered politics to challenge. And it's not always for this reason, but many times it is this reason, that as this genetic files have been opened more and more and more, suddenly it's affecting their personality, and they're now becoming a behavioral perception expression of this hybrid DNA. And they start to operate with that hybrid DNA in terms of their behavior and attitudes. And one key thing this hybrid DNA has, or has not, compared with the general population, is empathy. If you don't have empathy with people, you don't have empathy with the consequences for others of your actions.
Right.
And your actions have no limits. Now, today, coming around to the question, because in these things there's always a preliminary to get across where you're really coming from.
Right.
DNA databases now allow a highly sophisticated way of finding out who's got the bloodline and who hasn't. So they're bringing it in totalitarian tiptoe style by they know they can't at the moment get away with saying we're going to have a DNA database, everyone's going to be on it. So what they do is they say anyone who's arrested for a crime, even though they might not be charged and certainly not appear in court or be found guilty, their DNA is taken at the point of the charge, and that.
Why do you think that is? Of course, the main reason is to put you in the database. That's the main reason. You don't have to be, like he said, you don't have to be charged. You don't have to be put in jail. If you have been arrested, DNA samples will be taken. And this is for the elite Illuminati, the 13 bloodline families, the fallen angels. It's a way for them to figure out who's who. Because when they do things to society, they don't want to do things to their own bloodline. So they figure out who's who.
They then have a massive effort, usually impossible, to get that DNA taken off the base, and even then they've only got their word for it's been taken off. And what they're doing is building by stealth in this way an increasingly vast database, and eventually they'll reach the point where they'll say, well, look, we're going to have everybody now. And people say, well, they've got nearly everybody anyway, so well, who cares? You know, that's the way they work and break down resistance. And they want it for many reasons, but the key reason, a key reason, is they want to know who's got the bloodline and who hasn't. Another reason is this. Everybody is broadcasting, vibrating to a certain frequency. We're in the same frequency range, otherwise we couldn't see each other. But there's subtle differences between everybody. We always have our unique vibrational code. If you know what that code is, then if you want to target that person with vibrational interference on a physical, emotional, and mental level, mind control, I'm talking about the latter one, then you can target them specifically on their unique frequency. Once you have the DNA, you can work out what that frequency is. So that's another reason why they want the DNA database. It's not for...
Now see, I didn't know that. I knew about the frequency thing, but I didn't know that's why they took the DNA to target you with your own specific frequency, because everyone's body is on a different frequency. It's not on the same frequency. So if they take your DNA, they have your exact frequency that they can manipulate. It makes sense.
Catching criminals, they're interested in catching criminals. Criminals for them are just other ways, at the highest level I'm talking about, are just other ways to justify more and more control, to protect the people from criminals. They don't want a society that without crime, without violence, without terrorism, worst nightmare. How do you impose an Orwellian state on a society of harmony? You can't do it. You can only do it on a society that's divided and ruled and in fear of everything. That's why we have a society.
Exactly. All right, so now we see that these bloodlines. Now we see that these 13 bloodline families, fallen angels, basically they're up to no good. And they target you, like he said, with these frequencies to manipulate your mind to make you do what they need you to do. Do you think that these children that go up and do these school shootings, you think they just plan on doing them themselves? Come on now, back to back, back to back. How many school shootings has it been? You don't think their mind been manipulated to do these things? Mind control? And then you have crisis actors. I mean, a lot of you guys gotta wake up, man, because if you don't wake up, a lot of this will fly over your head, right? So now we're gonna get into the things that they do to society, not just with the frequencies and all of that. We're gonna get into some other things. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. First, you should read this. How the Illuminati runs Hollywood. The Illuminati believe that to control the media is to control the public. This is one of their stated agendas. Remember, to control the media is to control the public. What you see on the news, people mostly believe what they see on the news. Right? Whether it's real news or fake news, they still believe it because the news said it. Okay, now remember, finances, media, law, government, education are the areas they target as the best to dominate society. You see where I'm getting at, right? How do they do this? They don't go to a film producer and say, oh, by the way, we're Illuminati members and we want you to make a movie that promotes our agenda. No, they ain't gonna do it that way. Remember, they aren't stupid either. Instead, listen to this. They will form a small investment corporation that funds movies with ideas they like. They fund movies to promote the ideas that they like. They quietly hire actors, producers, directors, and scripts. But they never mention affiliation publicly or why they are doing this. That's deep. Remember what happened in September 2001, right? All right, let's get it. But you didn't see that though. Hold on. Okay. Now, they subliminally show you that they the ones who created these movies, right? By putting symbolism inside the movies. I don't know if you saw it, but let's go back. Look at the man's shirt. Pay attention to this man's shirt. See it, right? Right there. Pyramid with the eye. See that G? With the G.
Well, let me explain the New World Order. Let me help you learn your spurs.
You see the pyramid when he's talking, right? Flashing. Then he said, let me explain the world order, which means the new world order. This is Packers. Halloween Town, 1998. But you didn't see that, look. They made it a little dark so you couldn't see the eyes. Right? Baphomet. Look at the background. It's all saying hi again. Look at this. Being there. Look at this. A lot of people, when they watch these movies, they don't really pay attention to these symbols that they put into the movies. They don't pay attention to none of it. They watch the movie. Oh, that was a great movie, but not paying attention to the message that's in the movie. Lord Croft, Tomb Raider. Terminator 2. This is 9/11. This was before 9/11. This is before 9/11. A lot of these movies are before 9/11. They telling you what's going to happen before it happened. Years before it happened. So, what does it look like? What does it look like in the background? It looks like it's on fire. Do you see the symbolism in the movies? Did they tell? When you watch the movie, you need to pay attention to these symbolisms. Don't just watch the movie. Pay attention. Read between the lines. Pay attention to the symbolism in the movies. Because mostly every movie that they bring out in Hollywood have these symbolisms in it. It tells you what's going to happen before it happens. They don't directly tell you, they indirectly tell you. They play on your subconscious. Not your conscious, your subconscious.
Worst act of destruction since the World Trade Center bombing.
1998. World Trade Center bombing. 9/11. 9/11. They're giving this to you raw. Look at it. 9/11. These are all movies. What they say? You see how they put it together? These things are not These things. These things are not put in there for fun. These are not coincidences. They are deliberately put there. Deliberately. They have to tell you what's going to happen before it happens. They don't have to tell you directly, but they have to tell you. So when you say, why no one told me? They told you. You just didn't, your mind wasn't open. Your mind was not open. Your eyes are still, what is it? I'm thinking about a movie, but your eyes are still eyes wide shut. It's Eyes Wide Shut, which is another Illuminati filled movie. Let's get it. Rugrats in Paris, Twin Towers.
With a female underage in a motel by the Dallas Police Department on September 11, 1960.
See how they put the Twin Towers and they make 11 with the 9? Come on, man. Wake up, man. You see the Conference Square, right? The Simpsons, let me tell you something. A lot of people say the Simpsons predict a lot of things. The writers of the Simpsons don't predict anything. The writers of the Simpsons get their information from the Illuminati, or what they want them to place inside the cartoon. So when you these things are pre-planned years and years before it happened. They give you years of information, man, before things go down. The Simpsons, but they get their information directly from, because a lot of like remember in the beginning of the clip, it says that they hire their own script writers and producers and actors and actresses. This is a product. Simpsons is a product of what they want to achieve. And they use the Simpsons most of all to show you what's going to happen before it happens. But you don't pay attention. You just go along with the cartoon. Oh, that's a good episode. Oh, yeah, that was a great episode. But not paying attention to the symbolism that they give you, the messages that they give you. Let's go. All seeing night. Oh, you see it. There it is again. It's in South Park. South Park is another one. These are all movies and cartoons. You see how they put it in the background so where you really can't see it? You can see it, but you're not paying attention to that. You're paying attention to what's in front of you with the cartoon. But you're not paying attention to what's in the background. National Treasure was one of the biggest ones. One of their biggest movies with a lot of symbolism. This movie, if you haven't seen this movie, you need to watch it. But this time, watch it with your eyes wide open, not eyes wide shut. Watch it with your eyes wide open. And watch how many symbolisms and references that they put in this movie. You ain't pay attention to that either.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future.
Listen to this man. He's telling you in your face. But you think this is a regular speech.
Generations. A new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
New world
When we
order.
are successful, and we will be.
When we are successful, and we will be. He's saying like he knows they're going to be successful in choosing this new world order, which they are. They're going to be successful. It's written in the scriptures, and they're telling you in these movies and these cartoons.
We have a real chance at this new world order.
I think the New World Order is emerging.
When really a new world order can be created, it's a great
Afraid that I'll introduce myself, that we needed a new world order.
Those people who have been yelling, oh, the UN's going to take over global
Conspiracy theorists.
they've been crazy, but now they're right.
The New World Order. Why is everybody saying the same thing? Governments, politicians, news medias, outlets, All these people saying the same thing. Governors. Come on now. Wake up, people.
When Geiger said he would be open to the idea of a global currency last week, those conspiracy people had suggested that for years. You're not wrong.
All symbolism. And if you look on the back of the dollar bill, remember there's 13 bloodline families of the Illuminati. You have 13 stars and stripes on what? The flag. 13 arrows in the eagle's hand. Before America grew into a big corporation country, how many colonies was it? 13. Are you getting where I'm getting at? Remember in the last video we talked about the owl, right? Who was the owl? Remember when they showed you they was doing ceremonies and praising this owl, Molech. Remember I told you last video. If you haven't watched the video, you need to go back and watch the last video. Molech. What does this look like? This is a city in Washington, D.C. Well, this is, excuse me. This is Washington, D.C. This is blocks that's shaped like Molech. This is not a coincidence. This is deliberate. You also have streets that's shaped like the compass and square. It's not a coincidence. It's deliberate. All of the bloodline. You cannot become the Pope, which they call the Papa, if you're not a part of the bloodline. Period. It's just as simple as that. It's as simple as that. The king and prince of Saudi Arabia are part of the bloodline. A lot of these people, these ancient nations, we know that the ancient Egyptians were a dark-skinned people. We know this. History and a lot of other sources, historical sources, push this out and it's truth. Who are the people who reside in Egypt now today? One of the 13 families. Why do you think they own the oil? The 13 families own everything. Let's get back to the clip. now we have to understand that if we don't wake up, you will be blindsided about a lot of things that's been. Martial law is coming. I made a video about that. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out. Martial law is coming. Global meltdown. All the economics in every city, in every state, in every country is about to collapse. So they can introduce a new global currency. They about to get rid of every single religion, which I don't really believe in religion, to make one single global religion. RFID chip, which is a tracking device that we'll be placing in your hand, which people already is making it happen. Companies already is making their employees get this chip in order to continue working there. People just getting it just to get it because they don't believe in the mark of the beast. We are in the belly of the beast. America is the belly of the beast. So we need to wake up, man. You either want the red pill or the blue pill. You choose, man. You choose. Anyway, remember, merch is coming soon. The merch is coming soon. Red pill, blue pill. Unapologetic truth. Come on, man. Support the channel, man. Support the cause. Every dollar that I make will go back into the channel to make it better, to give more precise information, for me to go travel to different places so I can go into these places and get footage for you guys so you can see the truth firsthand. You know, buy some merch, man. Hit the Cash App. I will bring you more content tomorrow. Maybe tonight. Who knows? So, with that being said, I love y'all. Thank you for supporting the channel so far. The ones who just watched the videos and now subscribe, come on, man. Subscribe to the channel. Support the channel. This is the truth, man. This is the home of the truth. We're trying to push the truth out there to the masses and wake people up. But I can't do that without people subscribing, liking, and commenting. That way my content can be suggested to other people that be on YouTube. Come on, get them likes up, man. Likes. Come on, man. Well, this is Unapologetic Truth. The channel where we speak the truth and don't apologize for it. Why? Because the truth, it never apologizes. I'm out.